Yeah, it has been a very tough Christmas Eve and Christmas for this family, now grieving the loss of this 23-year-old mother of two who deputies say was shot and killed by her own 14-year-old brother. I want you to take a look at who we're talking about here. This is Abrielle Baldwin and her two sons. You can see them in the photo there. 6-year-old Jamari and Amir, who is just 11 months old. Her sister gave me this photo after we spoke moments ago.
Welcome to Crime of the Hour, where every hour hides a secret. Kindly like, subscribe and share. A family trip to the store plans to drop off kids. A work shift later that day. Nothing about the morning suggested how it would end. The argument started inside the store. It was about Christmas gifts. Who was getting what? Who was getting more? According to investigators, it involved Abrielle Baldwin's two younger brothers, 14-year-old DeMarcus and 15-year-old Darkus. The disagreement followed the family out of the store and into the car. Abrielle Baldwin was 23 years old. Most people called her Bree. She was raising two young boys, Jamari and Amir. She worked two jobs to keep them stable, one at Largo Medical Center and another doing hair at an assisted living facility. Family members said her children came first in everything she did. After leaving the store, the family drove to their grandmother's home in Largo. Bree planned to leave her children there before heading to work. They arrived in the early afternoon around 1:45. Darkus went inside the house and into the kitchen with his grandmother. DeMarcus stayed near the doorway. According to the sheriff, the argument over gifts had not cooled. At that point, DeMarcus pulled out a firearm and pointed it at his brother, threatening to shoot him in the head. An uncle who was inside the house stepped in and physically separated the boys. DeMarcus was moved outside into the driveway. Darkus stayed inside. The firearm did not leave DeMarcus's possession. Bree was inside the house holding her baby in a carrier. She knew what was happening outside. She walked into the driveway and addressed her brother directly. According to investigators, she said, quote, "You all need to leave that stuff alone. Why are you trying to start it? It's Christmas." Those were her last words. Law enforcement confirmed that DeMarcus responded with profanity and threats. He told his sister he was going to shoot her and that he was going to, quote, "shoot the baby too." Seconds later, he moved toward her and fired. Bree fell in the driveway. Her baby fell with her, still secured in the carrier. He was not physically injured. Inside the house, Darkus heard the gunshot and ran outside. A neighbor's outdoor camera recorded only the audio. 2 shots, 8 seconds apart. Darkus fired once, striking his brother. According to the sheriff, by that moment, DeMarcus no longer had possession of the firearm. Darkus ran from the scene, threw his weapon into a nearby yard, and fled to a relative's home in Clearwater. Bree was rushed to Largo Medical Center, the same hospital where she worked. She was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. She was 23 years old. The investigation moved quickly. One firearm was recovered at the scene. The second was not. Sheriff Bob Galtieri confirmed that the weapon thrown by Darkus was never recovered and stated publicly that it would likely surface in another crime. As detectives processed the scene, they also reviewed social media activity connected to the case. The day before the shooting, Abrielle Baldwin appeared in a Facebook Live video with family members. The video did not show the crime, but it later circulated widely. Investigators said it provided context into family dynamics but was not treated as evidence of intent. Separately, law enforcement confirmed that DeMarcus had posted a photo on Snapchat days earlier, pointing a handgun toward the camera. The sheriff stated it was the same .40 caliber firearm used in the shooting. The image was public. During a press conference, Sheriff Galtieri addressed a broader issue.
11-month-old. We've arrested 2 people, and I'll explain the incident as to what happened. The first person that was arrested is DeMarcus Coley. He's a 14-year-old black male. Date of birth is May 2nd, 2009. And he's been charged with first-degree murder, child abuse, and being a delinquent in possession of a firearm. The second is Darkus Coley. He's a 15-year-old black male. Date of birth is January 31st, 2008. And his charges are attempted first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. So this is what happened. On Christmas Eve, as I said, December 24th, Abrielle Baldwin, her 10-month-old son, her 6-year-old son, her 14-year-old brother, DeMarcus, her 15-year-old brother, Darkus, and their mother, Joyce Birch, who's a black female with a date of birth of June 25th, 1984, went Christmas shopping at a store here in Largo. While they're shopping, 15-year-old Darkus was jealous that their mother, Joyce, was getting 14-year-old DeMarcus more gifts than he was receiving. So they had this family spat about who was getting what and what money was being spent on who, and they're having this big thing going on in the store, and they're all arguing with each other. They left the store and headed to their grandmother's house, and they're having this big spat about what happened while shopping and who's getting what and who didn't get what for Christmas. So this is just normal what people do when they have these young kids getting spats like this. And of course I'm saying this sarcastically because he's all mad at his brother about what his brother was getting and is not getting.
He said the presence of firearms among juveniles in the area had reached a level he had never seen. In the 30 days leading up to Christmas Eve, 17 guns had been reported stolen from unlocked vehicles nearby. Since September, the neighborhood had seen more than a dozen gun-related incidents. According to investigators, both brothers had prior arrests connected to car burglaries. DeMarcus's record dated back to when he was 12 and included possession of a firearm as a minor and violent offenses at school. Many of those cases were still working through the system at the time of the shooting. In the days after the crime, Bree's 6-year-old son ran to a nearby house, telling relatives that his uncles were shooting at each other. Family members later confirmed he witnessed the aftermath. Counseling became an immediate priority. 3 days later, family and friends gathered near the driveway where Bree was killed. Candles were placed beside photos of her and her children. Her younger sister Ariana spoke quietly with reporters. She said Bree did not realize how many people cared about her. Behind the scenes, prosecutors filed charges. DeMarcus Coley was charged with first-degree murder, child abuse, and being a delinquent in possession of a firearm. The state attorney's office announced it would review whether to charge him as an adult. Because of his age, those proceedings remained sealed. Darkus Coley was charged with attempted first-degree murder and tampering with physical evidence. The tampering charge stemmed from discarding the firearm and fleeing the scene. After his arrest, he was briefly placed in a secure mental health facility before being transferred to juvenile custody. Some family members questioned whether Darkus should face an attempted murder charge, arguing he reacted after seeing his sister shot. Sheriff Galtieri acknowledged the emotional weight of the moment but stated that the law depended on timing and possession. He emphasized that juveniles with firearms created outcomes that could not be undone. There were no winners in the courtroom phase, only consequences. Bree's children did not return to that house. Family members stepped in to raise them. Their lives moved forward without their mother. In the months that followed, the case sparked legislative action. In February 2024, Florida lawmakers passed House Bill 1181, changing juvenile gun possession from a misdemeanor to a felony and increasing detention time for armed juveniles. Sheriff Galtieri stated publicly that if those laws had existed earlier, this case might have ended differently. Abrielle Baldwin did not set out to be part of a policy debate. He went to work. She raised her children. She stepped in when a family conflict became dangerous. Her death forced changes that warnings alone had not. Her sons will grow up carrying questions that cannot be answered fully. Why guns were so close. Why nothing stopped it sooner. Why it took a life for the system to respond. Abrielle Baldwin was a mother, sister, a daughter. She was trying to make it, and she should still be here. Thanks for watching. For more updates, like and subscribe to Crime of the Hour Official.